Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hey and welcome to Weekly Tips. We're putting some sense in your tip jar. Welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel. And we're going to be talking to you a bit about perspective. So with perspective is kind of the way we see things, the viewpoint. It is known as one-point perspective usually. People see it as. With perspective in drawing, it's where everything vanishes to a vanishing point. Now, with perspective, you usually, have a vanishing point that you make, and it can be anywhere on the page. Usually, people put it kind of, depending on where your kind of camera view is, where it's going to be. Usually, it's somewhere. It can be just straight in the middle if you like. Usually you start off in the middle, you can go a bit further up, you can go a bit further down where your camera is looking, whether your camera is looking from all the way here. So your camera is sitting here and you're looking at the horizon is over here, or you are kind of level with it, you're looking straight forward out to the viewing. Or you're looking up above it. It changes your perspective of where you're going to put it. And then from there we can do your horizon line. So that's where the horizon is, it's where your land mass, your kind of your last point of plane, that's where it is. And then from there you can also add extra lines, which is where extra 2 lines usually, which just splits it like that, which is your kind of gives you guidelines. Now you can lower those opacities down just so when you're drawing it's a little easier. You've got all the points you need now for your drawings. Now you want to add your imagery that you want to draw. We'll start with a cube. So you want to start with your front plane. So your front plane might be here. Now with front plane, because in perspective, and for one point perspective, everything front on is flat. Everything looking straight to it is flat pretty much. And then everything on top, everything that's extruding towards the vanishing point must go towards the vanishing point. And that's how you understand it. And flat again, so that's in perspective. That's a little bit to the middle, so it's kind of everything. This side is pushing and this side is more kind of straight. If I draw it out here, it will be, this ain't straight, but it will be more pushed to the left side. So it's pushed to the left side a little bit, so it's in perspective that way. So that's 1 point perspective. Now 2 point perspective is a little bit more complex. It's a bit, I don't really use it, but it's kind of when you're viewing something kind of on an angle, like you can see it in buildings and things. It happens where you might have 2 point perspective. It's basically there's 2 points. When you extrude it, it's going towards the two points in space. So you may see it if you're kind of viewing it where you're perfectly in between, viewing it from in between, and you're seeing both sides of the end of the building, if that makes sense. That's kind of where 2 perspective can be used, and it's can be used in other places and other forms. And you can learn and play around with these perspectives. So we'll go this first point perspective and 2-point perspective. So there's 2 points there. And then the next one I kind of see is isometric. So isometric is basically kind of geometrically right. It is basically, you know, with that there's rules to it. So, you know, basically all these lines that you draw should be on the same angle, and all the perpendicular lines, so lines going up, should be straight. Same as the lines going down, but all these lines should be the same angle, and that's pretty much isometric. Don't 100% quote me, I definitely looked it up and it's definitely isometric. And we learnt these terms back in drawing school, so it's somewhere in here. I was trying to remember what they were all called there just before, so I could do this, but yeah, there you go. Now these are here to help you to learn how to draw in perspective, how to make things seem right, and they are very helpful tools to use. With perspective, it can definitely help you in, you know, placing characters in environments, creating lots of things to help you create like little mountains over here, making things bigger as they come closer, so it makes it look like real space, because you achieve with perspective here, you achieve a bit more like space dynamics and make things look more 3D if you can understand these kind of 3 key perspectives. There is a little bit more out there, and there is heaps more details out there, so feel free to do your own research and find a lot more details. Like this is only a quick little tips and tricks that I do here, so I can only say so much about it. And I'd like to dig deep into it a little bit further in maybe some of my other videos, bringing up in some other things that I create. So hopefully you did learn something today. You create things in perspective right, and you play around with it. Feel free to create as many things as you like. Thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in, leave a nice comment if you enjoyed the video, if you draw things in perspective, if it does help knowing these 3 different perspective drawing techniques that you can use. And yeah, keep drawing everyone, keep creating, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.